Good evening, all you lovely people. Welcome once again to the official topic talk. I'll just wait and let a few people come in before I say what I want to say. Hope all you lovely people are doing well today. Weather's not too good. I mean, it's peeing it down with rain. Evening, Crazy Al. How you doing? Yeah, I've got the reason for coming on today, people, because I'm sick and tired of what I've been seeing and hearing lately, and I promised myself that when I came back with my new channel, I wasn't going to get involved, with any drama, and keep my channel on a positive note, the way that I've been going. But unfortunately, I'm having to make this live video. Evening, Cindy Collector. Yeah, I'm finding myself having to make this live video because I'm sick and tired, of seeing what fucking DECCAHEGGIE's been doing just lately, and I can't keep quiet no more. So to all my followers, to all my subscribers, I apologise for making this live. When my channel's all about positivity. But what I'm about to say coincides with, what my channel's about. And, Dagger's been getting away with a lot lately, and he's only got worse and worse and worse, as we know, to all these videos that are coming out about him doing fucking nasty acts on trains. What we're scamming people out of their hard-earned money. I've got no choice but to make this video. Evening, Christine Newton. Hope you're well. I've got no choice but to make this video. So that this I promised people towards the back end of last year, that if I ever found out that DECCA was a significant risk to women and children, I'd chuck him under the bus. Well, with what I've been seeing and hearing from that corner just lately, it's made me make this video, and I didn't want to go down this road, because my channel, my life, it's all about positivity. But this is a direct message to you, DECCA. DECCA, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out, DECCA, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'll set this up through the Joyce's camp. I want to call you out. I want a square go with you, or a dirty go, whichever way you fucking want it. But I'm going to now stick up and stay with my word that I gave to people on the back end of last year, that when I find out. Evening, Bobby, Honest Truth. How you doing, mate? Let me know in the comments if you want the link, Bobby, to jump on. But this is a direct call-out message for DECCAHEGGIE. Right, I will challenge you, right, to a square go or a dirty go, whichever one you want. I promised people the back end of last year, right, that if I found out all the truth, which I have done, I know exactly who you are, what you are, right? I want a square go with you, whether in the ring, right, or a dirty go. Get back in contact with me, because this is serious, right? I want to put you fucking down for what I've seen and heard, I'm sorry, people, to, I have to talk like this because it's it's not me. But I promised people towards the back end of last year, and I'm going to stick to that promise today. Decca, if you've got the balls, come and fight me. Come and fight me. I'll set it up. I'll make a phone call to William Joyce, and I'm sure William would get this set up for me. Somebody needs to stop you. And it don't look like you want to go fighting all these other people. So Decca, this is a straight direct call out to you from me, right? For all the manipulating that you've done to me last year, right? For all the people, that turned against me last year because I supported you. And all you done was nothing but fucking lie. You lied through the teeth at me. Well, the day's come. I promise people I'm going to chuck you under the bus. So if you've got the heart, if you've got the balls, get in contact with me, Decca. Let's get this arranged. Let's get this sorted. PP evening. I'll put the link out if anybody wants to jump on. But sorry to speak like this, guys. It's so Decca, get back at me. This is serious. I'm not going to have you running around and me keeping quiet, about this. I made a promise to people, the back end of last year, that if you turned out to be a significant risk, and people thought, well, I've kept quiet, I've not got involved in, drama, and I've put my channel in a really positive direction, and I'm happy creating the content that I'm creating. It's something that I feel positive about. It's something I feel happy about doing. But I'm sick and tired of seeing and hearing around YouTube, all the clickbaits and the grassing and the nonsense of good people. I mean, what's YouTube come to, guys? I mean, if I can turn over a new leaf, if I can create content, that don't surround drama. I mean, I don't care about the clues and vicks. To me, it's about a message. I want to get people's messages out there, and keep the troubles with the grooming gangs in Telford at the forefront. I'm having some really, really good guests on, and it's really making me happy the direction I've taken my channel. Evening, Pablo. Hope you're well, mate. Bobby, honest truth, if you're still around, mate, I've put the link in the comment section if you want to jump on, mate. Or if anybody else wants to jump on, the link's in the comment section. I've stayed too quiet on this, because I was concentrating on, I was being a bit selfish, concentrating on my own channel, and building my own channel. But I just can't sit back and listen without, saying or doing something about this, because the man's a fucking danger. The man is absolutely off his head. You would imagine that people like this would learn their lesson, and then just slither away and hide in the darkness, away from people. But he's ruined a child's birthday, and there's numerous people out there that he's taken their money and put it up his nose and injected in his legs. Evening, James. Guy, big up, sir. How you doing, mate? I hope you're well, James. Evening, Cold Warts. Big up, fella. Hope you're well. Bobby, the real honest truth. Jump on, mate. Links, I'll put the link back out for you, Bob. Links there for anybody that wants to jump on. You know, but it's gone on too long now. You started ripping people off of their money. You know, now you've destroyed a 13-year-old child's birthday. You know, all for the sake of money that you just want to shove up your fucking nose. You know, I told people towards the back end of last year, you know, I made a promise. I'll chuck you under the bus. I'm sick and tired, you know, of how you're treating people. You claim to be a mental health ambassador. You're going through mental health yourself. So you can't be no ambassador. You're just using these people to your own advantage. And anyone that'll just fall for your bullshit and lies you manipulate, and how you've got 9k subs still that believe every word that comes out of your mouth, I just do not know. Crazy how what I think is this guy just has a really big heart and cares too much. You know, guys, and now I'm going to say it with, you know, a bit more of a smile on my face. DECCA, I'm calling you out. You know, let's get this arranged. Let's get this sorted. You know, get back at me with what your answer is, yes or no. If the answer is yes, I'll get hold of William Joyce, and I'll get William Joyce to set the ring up down at the Joyce's camp. You know, and you know, let me bang you out and put you down where you're supposed to be, so you can't abuse women no more. You know, so you can't do any more dirty videos on trains wanking and stuff like that. That's just disgusting. You know, that's just gross. That's just disgusting. And no man on this earth would ever have their life or live their life like that. I'm ashamed to call myself a man because of your actions. When it comes to a head today, DECCA, you either take me up on your offer, right, or you crawl under that fucking rock that you came from. I'm not big. I'm not hard. I don't claim to be a gangster or anything like that. I'm just one human being, you know, just like everybody else in the world that's, you know, living our life as best that we can, making ourselves happy, you know, making our wives, keeping our wives safe and healthy and smiling, which is something that you will never have, DECCA, in your life. But I've stayed quiet too long, and considering, you know, towards the back end of last year, I was supporting this guy because he was manipulating me the same way that he's manipulating everybody out there at the moment. But the difference now is I woke up, I smelt the coffee. I'm not after clicks, I'm not after clout, you know, I'm not after views. You know, I'm not about that. Other people are. This is a genuine message direct to DECCAHEGGIE. If you've got the heart and if you've got the balls, face me one-on-one. Square go or a dirty go, whichever way you want it. But I can't stay silent no more. You're destroying lives still. You're using women still. Now you're abusing people that are genuinely falling for your bullshit and your narcissism and your dirty lifestyle. How they can listen to you, I just don't know. I woke up, I smelt the coffee. You're nothing but a dirty rapist. And the reason why you won't show your real acro, Decca, is because you know it's already out in the public domain. How can anyone still be breathing on this earth with having so many NFAs of grape? I just don't know. But I'm if I lose some subs because of this outburst, I'm sorry. I apologise, but I have to say something and I have to do something. This is me saying the something. I want DECCA in the square ring. DECCA, if you're watching, right, you know how to get hold of me. Well, mate, you don't know how to get hold of me, but you can leave a message on any one of my videos on my channel. You ain't having my number because your life's too dirty for me to give my fucking number to you. You might start fucking trolling me. So put your answer underneath any one of my videos, yes or no, right? And I'll promise you, right, I will turn up. I promise you, I will get hold of William Joyce and I'll get William Joyce to arrange it all and we go and have it down at the Oxford camp. But you ain't getting away with all this no more. You're not ruining no more women's lives for your sick, dirty behaviour. And I'm certainly not going to let you ruin anybody else's life. The stipulations on the fight. If I beat you, if I knock you fucking down, you crawled away under your rock and you disappear. And if I lose, I've got no stipulations for me losing. It just means I weren't the man for the job. But that's a stipulation. I beat you, DECCA. Right? You crawl under your fucking rock, you disappear. Unfortunately, he preys on the vulnerable and James, brother, James Gudgipe, I'm sorry for my outburst, mate, and it's got to be said, mate, because this guy is total evil. This guy is total scum. And this seems to be the only language that he knows. He wants to go around saying, "Oh, he's going to be fighting him. He's going to be fighting him." He's a bare knuckle boxer. He's probably twice my size, but I promised people towards the back end of last year that when I found out the truth, what he is, I was going to chuck him under the bus. Well, that day's come, mate. I mean, he's going around ripping off vulnerable people. He's going around raping females. The law won't have anything to do with it, which is half of the problem. I'm just saying you have a big heart, brother. Big up, James. Love you to bits, sir. Your channel's ace. Everyone, if you I'm going to stick James's you see James Guype in the comments. Can somebody put his channel link in the comments, please? If any of my moderators are around, can they put James's channel in the 2 seconds, guys. There we go. I've got James's channel in the comments there, people. Go and give James Guype a subscribe. He's got a very good channel that helps you grow. James basically helps you to grow your channel. He's a very good man, very good lad. I enjoy all of his lives. I haven't missed one yet. So all my subs, please go and subscribe to James Guype. ace fella he is. He's from across the pond, over there in the US of A. Give his channel a subscribe, guys. Brilliant lad he is. Cheers, Cindy Collector. You know, and unfortunately, you know, I got dragged into all that bullshit with fucking DECCAHEGGIE on the back end of last year, and I regret every second that I ever stuck up for that guy. You know, because I woke up, I smelt the fucking roses, I know exactly what he is. You know, there's too much proof out there for these idiots, you know, to keep believing the words that come out of his mouth. I mean, but now, you know, I have to speak up. You know, it don't bother me if I lose subs because of my outburst tonight, people. You know, I'm just apologising. And you'll be saying, oh, yeah, I've gone back to the old me. I'm not. You know, I've been wanting to get this off my chest for some time now. And over the past couple of days, you know, I mean, today I watched, I got sent a video of the guy showing his bank account, showing that he sent DECCA £500. You know, there's other dirty videos of him circulating around, you know, which, you know, I don't want to view them sort of videos, people, but, you know, I've heard of everybody else, you know, about these dirty videos going around. You know, I don't want to view anything like that at all. But this is what we're dealing with, guys. A narcissistic, born liar. Now, do anything to rip anybody off and abuse vulnerable females. You know, so, again, DECCA, if you're listening, right, let's get this on. You know, give me your answer. I want to know your answer by tonight. You know, you say you'll fight this one and fight. Come and fight me. I'm ready. I'm trained. You know, I'm ready to scrap. Win, lose or draw. You know, I want it with you. I want it with a passion. I want to chuck you under the bus. Because the moment, if and when I knock you the fuck out, you crawl back under that rock and we don't see you again. So I want to know your answer by tonight, DECCA. I'm not clout chasing. I'm not doing this for views. I'm not doing it for clicks. This is personal to me. I want to know your answer by midnight so I can crack on, get a phone call made over to the Joyces so they can set the ring up, and we'll do this next weekend. Not this weekend, I'm busy, right? But next weekend, I'll get it all arranged and set up. Let's see if you've got the balls and the heart to answer me. Let's see if you've got the balls and the heart as much as what I've got to fight you. It's got to stop, DECCA. It has to fucking stop. Graham McRoberts, crazy how best thing is to slap them with humour that they don't understand. Graham McRobert, yeah, is this the official DECCA? The wanker, now I know who he is. Couldn't slap the skin of a rice pudding. Evening, Mr. Bellringer. You know, if I've let you down for, you know, producing this crazy video, then I apologise to you, mate. You know, I'm enjoying, loving the content that my channel's been producing, but you know, I can't stay silent no more. You know, I want to scrap the DECCA. I've had enough of what he's doing. You know, he's getting away with everything now. You know, and you know, it's about time I jumped on the bandwagon. But my bandwagon ain't about views, clicks. You know, it's personal for me because I told people the back end of last year I was going to chuck him under the bus if I found out he was a significant risk to women and children. You remember that, and so does everyone else, because they haven't made me forget. You know, and I'll go to his world. You know, I want to fight him now. You know, I want to fight. I want to go to his world. He won't answer you by midnight. He's too busy cuddling his teddy and making new lies to fool people with. Crazy how you're right there. You know, but I don't care. This is personal now. You know, and I'm going to step into his world. You know, bare knuckle fighting. You know, I want to step into his world. You know, and give him what for. You know, win, lose or draw, I don't care. But if I win and knock him out, he disappears, and he disappears back under that fucking rock. You know, so if you're listening, DECCA, and I want somebody to clip this, probably Bell Ringer will clip this. You know, because I want the message to get to fucking DECCA. You know, I don't want him just to think it's clout, because it ain't. It's nothing about clout. It's nothing about clicks. It's nothing about views. You know, I don't care about views and clicks. This is personal, and this is a promise that I'm keeping. You know, so if anybody wants to clip any of this, what I'm saying, you know, please go ahead and clip this, because I want this message to get back to DECCA. You know, fucking making up bullshit about people, and you know, getting people this and robbing people and raping females and claiming he's this fucking mental health ambassador. When are people going to wise up? When are people going to listen to the truth? Good evening, Alex. You know, I do apologise, you know, for this rant video, but you know, um, my channel's all about positivity. My channel, I'm happy creating the nice content that I'm doing, but you know, I've heard and I've just seen just way too much, you know, to stay silent anymore. Heggie's a big stiff idiot. He's not the least bit intimidating to me or my kind. He's a bully. I smash bullies. His day is in the post at DECCA. Alex, I'm going to chuck the link out there for you. Never apologise for having passion. Alex, I mean, this guy fooled me. You know, this guy manipulated me. You know, and as soon as I found out what this guy was, I made a promise to everyone, and I've stayed silent, and people have, you know, they've been talking, you know, behind the scenes and stuff. And DECCA, I'm being serious. I want people to clip this left, right, and centre so DECCA gets his message from me. You know, I want a square go with you. I will set this up via the Joyce family. You know, for what you've put everybody through, you're still doing it. You've ruined a 13-year-old child's birthday. You know, you've ruined women's lives. And I'm not jumping on the bandwagon like everybody else, because everyone out there knows that when I've come back with my new channel, my channel's fully about positivity and getting people's messages out there, you know. And Alex is a great man. You know, he's probably going to be one of the greatest people you could ever come across within the YouTube community. You know, you need to sub to his channel, guys. Um, I'll leave the um, channel link for Alex in the comments after this. Let's get the link out there and see if anybody wants to come on and, you know, have a wee chat. You know, but I'm channel links out there, Alex, if you want to pop on. I'll probably only be on for about another 20-30 minutes. But you know, he's gone far too long now with fooling people. You know, manipulating people. You know, and using his bullying tactics to, you know, relieve people of their hard-earned money. You know, and the way that he treats females, going around raping females and then trying to say we're all bullshitters and liars. Well, I'll challenge you, DECCA, to put, if you say that, you know, that access request is not right, then put your real one out there and show everybody what you are. We know what you are. It's a legitimate paperwork that's already out in the public domain. You know, so we all know what you are. But I just don't understand, you know, how you can still con so many people. You know, even still to this day. You know, you're still conning people out of their hard-earned money. You know, and it's not right. So you got till midnight, DECCA. He's a dangerous, dangerous man, Alex. You know, and you know, there is no place on YouTube for him. I mean, he's a very, very, very dangerous and significant risk to women and children. You know, and you know his time's up. You know, you know, I've tried to tell people, you know, to get the message of what this guy's like. And Alex, you're right. You know, there is only 20% of his truth, but that 20% of what we know is just sad and bad and dangerous enough, you know, for us all to know and realise exactly what he is. And he needs to be held accountable because the police force, you know, aren't doing a hard enough job. You know, I'm not criticising the police force because, I mean, you know, there's corruption up and down the country within the police force. And I mean, you know, if the police ain't going to, you know, help with this situation, then, you know, you're going to get more people in the public doing stuff more than what the police could ever do, you know, to bring this dangerous person to justice before he murders someone. I believe he's capable of killing a female. He's got all the pattern, you know, to prove to me, you know, that he's capable, you know, of killing a female. And I don't want that to happen. He's got 9K subscribers, you know, and them 9K just seem to turn a blind eye to us on thinking we're lying and we're doing it for clout. And, oh, when we mention his name, we're only doing it for clout. No, not at all. You know, my personal point where I stand, right, is personal. Nothing more, nothing less. Right? I want to chuck him under the bus. It's my job to chuck him under the bus. I promised people I will chuck him under the bus. So Decca, angelic angels, love you, wifey. I want to chuck you under the bus, so, you know, get back to me tonight by midnight with your answer, yes or no, if you will fight me. We have a square go, or we have a dirty go. Whatever way you want it, you can have it. You know, I've got a location. I can get that arranged. You know, I can make a phone call or send a message, and I'll get the location sorted. That's no problem at all. You know, but with what you're doing lately, you know, you're going around now trying to get sponsorship money off people and mithering people, you know, for money, that you're saying that you want to build a podcast studio, but it ain't. It's just going up your nose and in your fucking leg. Evening, Rob. Hope you're doing well, mate. Big up all you need to see. Guys, go and give that channel a subscribe. He's doing some amazing work. You know, bringing awareness of you know, different type of abuses, and you know, he's an ace channel. Everyone go over and subscribe to All You Need to See. You know, he's got a brilliant channel there, and it's growing nicely for him. So let's show some love and support for All You Need to See, guys. Airborne Audits. Good evening, LDT, and everyone in the chat. Evening, Airborne Audits. Hope you're doing well, mate. Steve, don't let the nonce bother you, bro. Party time. He's not bothering me. You know, I'm chugging along with my channel. You know, I'm getting my word out there. You know, I'm getting a lot of good people on, you know, to interview. So he's not really bothering me as such. It's what he's doing to everybody else, and I just don't agree with it. You know, I just simply don't agree with what he's doing, and I've got the right now for this. This is my right to reply, because, you know, as you all may well know, you know, towards the back end of last year, you know, I was in support of DECCA, you know, until I worked out and realised the truth that he is a dangerous man, significant danger to women and children. And I promised people towards the back end of last year, you know, that when I find out, I was going to chuck him under the bus. Alex, good evening, mate.
Good evening, my friend. How are you?
Oh, fucking, you know me.
Breathe, brother, breathe.
I mean,
sitting in the van, it's a wee bit dark. You'll just have to bear with me.
Alex, I mean, just like you and every other person, there's been a lot that's, you know, been put out in the domain the past couple of days, and you know, I've just listened to my heart today, and
yes,
towards the end of last year, I made a promise to people, and you know, I'll chuck him under the bus when I find out the truth. And as you know, I found out the truth, you know, the back end of last year.
Yeah.
And to be frank with you, what I've seen the past couple of days, you know, has led me to this. And, you know, I'm just saying, Decca, I'm a fucking man, you know, and, you know, if he wants it, I'll give it him. I don't care.
What age are you, Steve? How old are you?
Me, I'm 50.
Yeah. Well, I'm 5 years younger than you, so leave that to me.
Nah, don't worry. I've got 18 stone to fucking back it up with.
Well, I'm 14 and a half, but I can shift. Hey, you've got good people in the chat, Steve. You've got Neil O'Mac in the chat. You've got Bellringer. You've got Crazy Hell. You've got Rob Olgoth. You've got good people in the chat. Now,
Well, I haven't had a
good
chance
people,
to see the chat, but
good people are attracted to good momentum and good vibes, right? So, like I said, Neil O'Mac, he's nobody's mug. He knows exactly what the crack is. The time for Derek Gordon-Heggie is running out. He's ran out of script. He's ran out of paper. He's ran out of narrative. He's ran out of get me out of jail cards. He's run out of big man talk and hard man talk. We've seen the best of him with an extremely unfit Danny Christie. Danny Christie today would murder him. It would be a lamb to the slaughter.
yep.
Believe me, I will stake my everything on that. Danny Christie today would slaughter him. That's a fact. There is no dispute about that. Not just because I favour Danny because I like him. I'm talking about fighting. I'm talking about street fighting, brawling, anything you want to call it. He slaughters him. I've been to his door a few times. For some bizarre reason, he will not engage with me. I don't know why that is, okay? He doesn't get his way with me. It's a very different process with me. I don't want an audience and a referee. I like the dark waters. So, Steve, don't get yourself stressed, mate, because it's a very stressful situation when we know there is an individual around our community taxing people and, stealing from good, honest people. When we know that's occurring and we can't put an immediate stop to it, it's very, very stressful. And it really, really plays havoc with your mind. I'm a kind of like to think of myself as a decent person, reasonably honest and at worst, a bit of a toe rag back in the day. But I live a decent moral code. Don't do harm to people. Don't deliberately harm anyone. Don't take what's not yours. Don't abuse people's generosity. He does all of these things in abundance. He does all of these things in abundance. And his traction that he's gained has got him so far. He's never achieved anything in life that's got him here. He's gained traction via drama, via generating a narrative of drama. His entire life, never forget, Steve, his entire life is based on a lie. His entire network, his infrastructure, his foundation is built on a lie. I can account for every episode in my life going back 25 years. I know where I've been. I know how many times I've put my neck on the line. I know all the risks I've taken. I know how many times I've been close to death. Blah, blah, blah. Right? That's for another day. Every single thing he comes out with, he fabricates because he's an underachiever. He's never had a life. He doesn't have a life story in him to write a book that would be interesting enough to sell. He's a liar. He's a puppet. He's an actor, and he's a liar. He's just not a very good one. So don't get yourself stressed about it. I can see you're getting that way, and I've been that way as well because he seriously presses my buttons. And there's people in your chat, Steve, and he's pressing their buttons also. There is a lot of good people in these YouTube communities. I know there's a bit of drama. There's a few wind-up merchants and stuff. That's just life. But there's a lot of good people. And together, collectively, we will remove him from social media. And we will also bring an end to the myth that DECCAHEGGIE is some type of modern-day Lenny McLean. The guy's a fraud, okay? And if I meet him on a pavement, well, I know that my colours don't run, Steve. I know that much. That's all I'll say about it. I'm not into the hard man chat. I can account for myself in every walk of life. So, somewhere down the crazy river, our paths will cross.
I mean, the unfortunate part in all this, though, is, there's still people getting hurt by him.
Yeah, there is.
There's still people being abused by him. There's still people being... I mean, take that guy for argument's sake. He's lost £500. Some people might say, £500, but it was for his child's birthday.
But it's the only way survive, Steve. He doesn't know any other way to generate money. He's not entrepreneurial. He's not skilled. He's got nothing to offer an employer. He's a thief. He's been a thief his entire life.
I mean, I've got a lot to lose. I mean, you know, if he wants to get back to me by midnight, I've got a lot to lose, but I'm willing to put that on the line because...
Steve, he won't get back to you. You won't hear from him because he's a coward.
I mean, this will be the easiest fight in his life, but it'll be my hardest. But I'll guarantee you, you know, if I win, he disappears for life. And you know, to be honest with you, I mean, it's been in me for a long time to produce this. You know, because
he told Danny Christie to come with one man, and when Danny Christie arrived, there was 8 men in the ring for DECCA. Forget what you can see on the camera. I know how it went down. I've seen the other side of the footage from somebody's personal phone. There was 8 men there for Heggie because he's a coward. Fundamentally, at his root, he is a coward. It's very, very easy when you're 18 stone to abuse a 9 stone woman. Very easy. He's a coward. He's a woman beater. He's a domestic abuser. He's a thief. He's a con man. He's a fraudster. He's everything.
He's every word that you've ever said and more.
He's everything that you don't want to be as a man.
And to be honest with you,
I've never hurt a woman. Never put a woman into a state of fear. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror if I'd done it. I can say that with a true heart.
To be honest with you, it makes me feel embarrassed to call myself a man. You know, because of his fucking actions, mate.
That is because he's bringing the spotlight on us all. So we are morally obligated as decent living men to out him and make him an outcast. And we will get there, Steve. Believe me, we will. We will get there.
Bellringer's asked a question.
Yeah,
Steve, how did you first get involved with Dickie, if you don't mind me asking? Well, Bellring, I'm going to answer that one for you because I was just like you. I was just like everybody else, you know, with a YouTube channel. And one day I started watching some channels, and I noticed a lot of people ganging up on DECCA within the comments, and that's how I got myself involved. Because, you know, back then I didn't know DECCA, I didn't know anybody. You know, this was around about maybe August, September time, and I've seen a heck of a load of people like giving bad comments towards that guy, DECCA. And just one day, you know, out of the blue, I thought, hold on a minute, you know, there's so many people attacking this guy. Let me jump in and, you know, defend this guy. You know, that was the worst day of my life because normally, you know, I'd look into things before defending anybody and putting myself up. I mean, but when I've seen 30 people attacking him, you know, I'm one of these people on the street. If I see 2 guys beating up one guy, I'll jump into even the odds. I mean, that's how I was in my younger days. I mean, but I'm a family man now,
yep.
And you know, I've got one.
You're a decent person, Steve.
So just basically, all I've done was
basically. Just saying hello to Steve Wraith. Steve Wraith's in the chat. Hi,
Steve Wraith, you alright, buddy? Do you want to jump on?
Wraith is in the chat.
Wraith's a very, very good man.
Yep, very honest. Doesn't just he sticks to the facts.
Yep.
Doesn't get caught up in the he said, she said. He just won't involve himself. People have tried to bait Steve. He won't take the bait. He's too professional. He's been around a long time, and he's also been around a certain element of society where that type of character doesn't, you know, that kind of carry on doesn't wash. He's of the Omerta. He's of the old school, I would say, Steve. So I mean,
I want to order some of the books that he's done, you know, to get a feel for, you know, the type of the all-free lifestyle that, you know, that he's got there. But you won't get any better 2 men than Steve Wraith and yourself on his whole YouTube.
He just does the facts. Rob, Steve, we've all got something to We've all got something to bring to the table. There's a lot of great people in the comment sections as well. They might not have channels, but they bring a hell of a lot to my channel. Neil O'Mac people, you know, they bring an awful lot to the table, a lot of knowledge, a lot of life experience. And these people are good judges of character in general. You know, they've got the qualities of decent people, decent living people. And everybody now knows that, listen, there's very, very little left to debate on DECCAHEGGIE. Even his fan mail, the numbers are dropping by the bucket load on a daily basis. The writing's on the wall for him, Steve. The writing's on the wall. He's finished. He's a very unscrupulous, devious man. And the rest of his life, the rest of my life will be whatever I want to make it. The rest of his life will be dictated by the first half of his life, which is absolute filth. So I don't worry about skeletons coming out my closet, because there's nothing coming out my closet. I've not wronged people. He's done the worst to women. He should never be allowed a pass for this. Not in my lifetime will he get a pass. I'll do whatever it takes, by the way. I'll say that publicly. I will do whatever it takes. I'm in the 1% that's prepared to do anything to remove him from monetized public media platforms, because I can't stand him. He actually repugns me. He's one of the rare human beings that makes me feel physically sick at what he's done to people. People that I've shared a cup of tea with, decent, honest, living women, like Dorothy Litt, who's a lovely, lovely woman, and he terrorised the life out of her. And I will never give him a pass for that. Never in my life. Or I'm not worth my salt. And I'm a fraud. And I can assure you, Steve, I'm not a fraud. So
No.
I'm gonna go on. I'm in the middle of a wee job just now, mate. Thanks for inviting me on. I hope Steve Wraith pops on for a couple of minutes. Bellringer, Neil O'Mac, Crazy Hell, Rob Olgoth, all the folk in the chat. Great for support, Steve.
And Alex, just before you go,
Yeah,
I don't know if you've noticed, I've sent over an Instagram to you about the report from the grooming gangs.
I'll go and
It's
check.
going to take me a month or so, to go video. But basically, what I was going to ask, because you're the best guy, to explain all of that report to me. To break it down and.
Yeah, it's a tricky document to read. I'll do my best, Steve. Happy to help you.
Brilliant. Cheers. Thank
All
you,
right,
Alex.
I'll be in
Cheers,
touch.
buddy. Thank you.
Night, guys. Thanks for listening. Thank you. Good night.
So there we go, guys. I mean, he's never going to stop. But at the moment, I've been, I've been putting out. Alex is a great guy. The content and the message, the strong message that Alex puts out when he does his videos and his lives. I mean, I listen to each message that Alex puts out via his channel, because I can take, me personally, I can take a lot, from listening to Alex's videos, because the message he puts out all the time is really, really strong, and even if you could take, one paragraph, out of any one of his video, and it can help within your life, then, Alex is doing the great by people. And like Alex has said in the past, if he can help just one person, that's one person less that will be going through, a stressful and struggling time in their life. So, Alex, thanks for coming on, mate. Everyone subscribe to AC Coming Back to Life. Brilliant channel. I mean, the content that Alex puts out via his very strong messages, we can all take, even if it's just a paragraph, out of one of his videos, to make our life better. That's what we're there for. To if one can help the other and the other can help the one, then that's what life's about. That's what people should be doing on YouTube as content wise. Putting messages out there that others can listen to, and possibly it can help them in their life, if they're going through a struggling time. And there's no one better for that job than Alex. So Alex, I'll take me out off to you, sir. Ministry, if that's you, show your face, mate. Got ya.
Hi, Steve.
How you doing, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, I'm a bit rough, to be honest.
Yeah, this morning I was, I had a bit of a cough and a cold this morning, and when the rain come down, I got out there up to help a mate out, and we were working in the outside, and I come back with a bit of a cold and a bit of a cough, but apart from that, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I got a bit of a chest infection, I have, so I'm a bit. My voice is gone, as you can tell. I don't sound like I normally do.
How's the wife? Is she all right?
Yeah, she's home now. I picked her up from hospital yesterday. She had an emergency line fitted.
Oh, yeah.
But it was hard. Apparently, it was a tough one for her, and she's fucking bruised right up, And but she dialyzed this morning, so she's all good. She's all good to go.
My missus is just down doing her dialysis at the moment. So I thought, there's been a lot eating away at me. Since probably the back end of last year, and with the latest events, I needed to get something off my chest. So I apologise to everybody, because I promised my channel was going to stay positive, and that great content I'm happy to create at the moment, and put out there for people. I just had to get my personal message out there that I want to fight DECCA. I've heard and seen enough, and I've stayed silent long enough. And if anyone's got the right to reply to him, it's got to be me, because I believed him on the back end of last year. I supported him strongly and upset a heck of a lot of people. And the moment I realised the truth, I made a promise, and I said to people, I'll chuck him under the bus the moment that I realise. And I've thought over the past couple of days, with what I've seen out there, and I've decided today's the day that, I get my message out there. And, I don't care that I'm 50 years old. I don't care I'm 18. I want to fight him now. It's personal, to me. And, it's not a joke. I don't do anything for clout, for clicks, for views. I don't care. It's the message, that cares more to my heart with my content and my channel. But I physically want to fight him now. I can pick the phone up to Timmy Joyce. I can get that arranged. That's not a problem. And, he's never going to stop. And there's always going to be more people out there that he's abusing. And I don't know what your thoughts on it is. But there's a 13-year-old child that's going to go with a bad birthday because of DECCA taking £500 and not wanting to pay it back.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, it's not good. It's it just seems to be going from bad to worse. For him, to be honest, I don't get too deep into it, because I don't like to really. But he's not in any way tried to redeem himself. Not that he can, but at least own up, own the aggro, and at least go through it, and then just fucking disappear. Just do one, would probably be the best option, but it's not going to happen because good publicity or bad publicity is all good to him. So that's my sort of thoughts on it.
I mean, I'm surprised that I have stayed this silent, to be honest with you, for so long. And even people were questioning like whether I'm still, involved with him or supporting him. Which I haven't done since the back end of last October, and this is my way now of putting out there that I'm sick and tired of what he's doing to people. Evening, Ronan.
Yeah. Well, mate, what's the crack? You calling out?
How's it going?
Ronan.
How's things?
Yeah, all good.
All good, mate. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Are you calling out DECCA, mate?
Yep.
For a fight?
Yep. And I'm serious because I'm, since back end of last year, I've stayed silent and, I slithered away into the quietness, and I come back, with a brand new channel, full of positivity, excellent work, great content, happy is the way that I am when I produce my content now, but he's been getting away with all of this, and what's happened the past couple of days with all this stuff that's been coming out, it's just balled my piss that much that, I'm ready and I'm able, to take this guy on, and I want to take him on. I want to hurt him that bad that, I'm willing to put my body through hell.
I don't think it's going to prove anything.
Sacrifice
I don't think it's going to prove anything to anyone else, Steve. It's just, if you feel it's something you're going to do, I don't think it's going to. I don't think you've got anything to prove to anyone else by doing it.
No, this is like personal to myself, and I promised myself I weren't going to go on this path. But I've had no choice within myself. I'm willing to sacrifice everything that I've got in my world, to get this guy off of fucking YouTube and to make sure there's no one else out there that he can hurt, he can rob from. Evening, Bobby.
Evening, Steve.
Evening,
Bobby.
Bobby.
I hope you're keeping well. Can I just sort of say?
Can I just say hello to Ronan? I know all you guys. Ministry, Ronan, Steve. How we all doing, mate? How we all doing?
All good, Bobby.
Yeah, good to Bobby. Got a bit of a chest.
A bit of a powerful message. Bit of a powerful message you're putting out there, Steve.
Bobby, it's been long overdue, to be honest with you, and I know I've promised everybody my channel is going to stay positive and that great content I'm very, very happy to put out at the moment. But, none's a better time than to make a grand statement that I've made tonight, because, to be honest with you, Bobby, I'm highly disgusted of what's been coming out the past couple of days. Right? He's a dangerous and significant risk to women and children.
It's breathtaking.
Will not fucking stop, Bobby.
Steve, I'm sorry to bother in there on you, mate. Listen, see, fighting this cunt isn't going to do a single bit of difference, right? The only thing that do a bit of difference is probably old school styles, tar and feathering, right? But that's not going to happen, right? Because we're not living in the 1990s anymore. See this fella here, right? He doesn't give a fuck, right? He's out there sending videos left, right, and center, doing whatever he's doing. He knows. See all this here, right? And I'm guilty of it myself. You wanna say stuff, you wanna do stuff, you wanna fight him, and that's great and fair play. But think about it this way, mate, right? He's been fighting for how long now, right? And I'm not saying you can't have a scrap, because I'm sure you'd bust his head in because you're a big lad. But this is what he does. Do you know what I mean? He's active. He's an active predator and he's an active fighter. So he's going to go in there. He'd probably accept, mate. He'd probably accept. He wouldn't. He ditched on the Jack Draper fight because he knew Jack was vicious as fuck. And he thought, just looking back at it, he probably thought he could get Danny Christie at a bad time of his life. So he probably will accept the fight with you, mate. And that's not a diss at you. It's just that you're not an active fighter. And I think the only fella this person should be fighting is somebody that's going to cave his fucking skull in. That's the truth. And that's not a diss at you, because I think that you're a great guy. but I wouldn't want you going in there getting fucking hurt with a cunt like that. Do you know what I mean? The best thing you could do is take a baseball bat with you and smash his fucking legs in.
My mum brought me up with these.
Evening, Rob.
Yeah, but that's moral. That's between men.
Yeah.
That's between men. This isn't a man. This is a guy that is highly narcissistic. He's a predatory behavior, and he doesn't care. And see the fight talk feeds his ego. Do you know what I mean? It feeds his ego. And for you to show up there and get hurt by a cunt like that, do you know what I mean? Is it worth it when you can maybe damage him better other means? Does that make sense?
Yeah. 100%, Ronan. I don't know, Bobby. What's your thoughts? Or...
My thoughts are that DECCA is a narcissistic sociopath. Is many different things. He's a chameleon, and he is a master manipulator. And to call him out, my opinion, Steve, is he's comfortable with that. That's if you notice, I mean, even the latest episode with the guy that's challenging him to get his money back. The guy's showing passion, not aggression. Is the guy who wants his money back, and he can understand how hurt he is. It's affecting his family, and DECCA's on the verge of calling this guy out, and that's his forte. If he can't, he's a caveman. He's DECCA. If you don't understand it, hit it. That's his mentality. But at the same time, he's got he's lower than a snake's belly. There's no morals, no emotions, no sympathy, no empathy. He's a very dangerous man, and at the same time, he's an active predator. Now, I've got to the point now where, I wanted to smash his head in. I wanted to, I feel I'm wanting somebody to say, that's enough, I'm going to go get him. Somebody's going to go get him. But that isn't the way to get DECCA. Get's not the word. That's not the way to deal with DECCA. Now, I think it's tactical. It's about awareness. It's about, the authorities have proved useless. But you can put them in a position where if he isn't dealt with, the authorities will be to blame because they will be aware. And that's the road, I think, like the likes of a peaceful protest organised in the right way would work, not just all turn up and sit down in the road, do it right. Tell the authorities you're going to do it, tell the media you're going to do it, put the word out there, and it's all awareness. That's the way I think it should be dealt with now.
And the thing is, Bobby, Steve is going to have a boxing match this year. Yes, good man.
You're popping out, are you, Ministry?
Yeah, I had a phone call. I got to sort something out a minute.
Okay, mate. Take
Pop
care.
back on after, Ministry.
Yeah. Nice one.
So, go on, Ronan.
Steve, so people don't know this about Steve, right? He was going to have a boxing match this year, right? And he's capable of having a scrap. He's capable of having a good scrap and a good fight. So this isn't coming from a bad place. I know Steve would go in there and probably break his jaw. Yeah. That's not what the issue is, right? You're a tough bloke. People don't know that. You never spoke about that, Steve, about your boxing match that you were going to have this year that you had to pull out of because of health reasons. So this isn't coming from a place that I think that you can't beat him. I know that you could put yourself through some type of a sparring sessions and training camp. You might actually get in there and do damage. But think about this, right? How many men have said this? How many men have done this and it hasn't went anywhere? The best thing that you're doing is, right? And this is just me saying this friend to friend, right? Fuck everybody else. Is that for you to come back onto YouTube and have that redemption that you've had, to go back into this from the other side could be highly dangerous because you don't know what he's capable of. This guy's on the verge of doing a Royal Moat. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, he is. Very much so.
The pressure has been put on him. He doesn't know what to do. And quite frankly, you out of all of this, he would accept a fight with you, mate. Just so he can fucking do damage. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying you wouldn't do damage to him, but he's not going to accept the fight with Jack Draper. He's not going to accept a fight with any of these boys that are active, but he will accept a fight with a fella that isn't active, that can feed his ego. There's other ways of doing this. Do you know what I mean? There's other ways of doing this.
Plus, I think you're entering his comfort zone if you call him out. I think you're entering his comfort zone. And as I said, you've got to outsmart this guy. He's an active predator. Don't forget that. Don't ever forget that, because that is why. I mean, people come to me and say, why won't you leave it alone? We're all fed up of it. The guy's an active predator. Once the guy has been dealt with, I'm out of there. Bellringer, excellent work. Bellringer's doing some excellent work, guys. You need to go over and have a look at Bellringer.
If it weren't, to me, Bob, if it weren't for the likes of Karma, and if it weren't for the likes of Bellringer, and if it weren't for the likes of Dodgy Dave, and one or two others out there, that I'm sorry, I haven't mentioned, but who you channels are, we won't get to hear half of this stuff, and the way they bring it across is a way for us all to understand. And the likes of yourself as well, you're very passionate, about this subject too.
It's just I think any man is. It's just a case of seeing it through. I just want to see it through and move on. I want to move on. I don't want to get down with these things, and you do get down with them if you're not careful. It's just you've to deal with it tactically now. That's my opinion. I think the times of call out, let's sort it out. I mean, let's be honest. All these call outs on YouTube, this corner of YouTube, how many, fights have actually happened? How many fights have actually happened? They're calling each other out every day. And that 6 months ago, that was relevant. That was happening 6 months ago. Now there's some still trying to do that. I'm not on about you, Steve. This is your separate thing. You're wanting, and what you're thinking, Steve, what you're thinking is you want this concluding, you want it finishing. So, whatever way it can, I will do my best. That's what you're thinking, to stop this happening, what's happening. But at the same time, they've moved on this corner of YouTube. It's very toxic if you're not careful. And they're now calling each other's families out, each other's wives, calling, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's gone far too far. And I can't wait to move away from this corner of YouTube once this is resolved,
Bobby, there's loads of these people. Bobby, there's loads of them, mate. There's loads of them. I don't speak about this on lives. I don't speak about this in pre-recorded, because after the whole DECCA situation over the past year, everything needs to be verified to me before I speak about anything.
Yes.
But what I will say is, I know of active people online right now that are predators, just like the certain individual that we're talking about, and they're lurking in the shadows. I know them. I know who they are, right? And these people, maybe what I'll say is, maybe these people done a wee bit of paedophile hunting in their time. And I know these people have got victims. They've tried to worm their way out of it. They've been called out online. I've had myself in the firing line of this. He isn't the only one. The difference between him and the rest of them, this certain individual that we're talking about right now, he is like up on a pedestal with these people. He's hailed as the king. I was Instagrammed yesterday by a guy of a certain religion, should I say, and he was calling me a troll, and he was saying that he was basically condoning. He never even denied that this certain individual done these things, and he was basically saying that it was right and that I shouldn't be trolling this guy. And I just the only message I sent him is I know why you back him, and that was it. And he was blocked, he was eradicated, it was deleted. I didn't want them anywhere near me. But this is what I'm saying. This guy is hailed as a king amongst these people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what we're dealing with.
And that's why he needs to tumble. He needs. And I honestly think the exposure on YouTube has outlived it's outlived virtually. You can't expose the guy anymore. It's all come out. It's all. I know it can get worse, and there's more and more and more. But he's guilty of every, taboo crime you can think of. But now I think it's time to make the authorities aware, make people aware outside of YouTube, That's my opinion. But,
I mean,
I respect you calling him out, Steve. And if that's what you think you need, do it, mate, because it's passion. But at the same time, I don't think it'll resolve anything. It'll probably help you if that's what you need. But as far as him, anything happening to him, I don't think it would make any difference. But that's.
I mean, the thing you suggested, Bobby, that's perfect. If we can get a big enough group together and do a peaceful protest,
an organised one, but you don't have to.
It'll have to be official, like through the police.
Yes, what I'm saying is these things. A lot of the time, these things don't come to fruition. They don't actually happen. These peaceful protests, because the authorities look at it and think, to an extent, can we resolve this before it gets to that? What a peaceful protest is, in my eyes, is it's a way of saying, listen, this is what we're going to do if things don't change. We're going to give you time. We're going to give you a day, amount of people who are going to be there. Now, see what they come back with. It's a way of making them wake up. I've seen these exposure groups, these predator exposure groups, and many times you see them say, we've had to come and get you because we handed your details into the police 6 months ago and they haven't done anything about it. There's no priority. There's no priority, and this is where the authorities let the people down.
It doesn't make money, Bobby. It doesn't make money. The reason why, right? It doesn't make money. You can lock up thousands of people that are addicted to drugs because they were put on pharmaceuticals, and that makes money. It's a double whammy. They get put into the privatized prisons, and it's a money making system. The other thing is, you need a 70% chance of even going to court or a conviction for the prosecution to take it serious with these sexual crimes, because it's not deemed as a money-making system. This is what it's about. The whole world is ran on money. And listen, to a certain degree, I understand money has to be involved. But when you're dealing with historical cases, not just like with a certain individual we're talking about now, historical cases running back right up until the 1940s, right up until now, these people are still getting away with it. These people, don't tell me a Jimmy Savile, a new Jimmy Savile, can't get away with stuff in this modern day age, even with this woke bullshit that's going about. If anything, it's hidden under this woke bullshit, this bullying people and all the rest of this. If somebody is a nonce, they are a nonce. If they're not a nonce, they'll prove themselves not to be a nonce, and that is a fact. But it's not. It's the fact that these people are getting away with it is because it's down to money. It's all about money. That's what it is.
Oh, it's corruption. There's corruption, and it comes from the top down, and it's political, and it's all about money, as you said, Ronan. But the sad thing is, it's crimes that are not accepted by the majority. These crimes are not accepted by the majority of people, and these people aren't accepted. That are guilty are not accepted into society. Nobody wants them. So why would and it's sad that they'll put money before actually, what's that, dealing with these people. 1.6% of all rapes, sorry, I shouldn't say that word on YouTube, but rapes actually get to court. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's what I meant about the 70%. It was like 70. But
1.6 of all sexual crimes actually get to court, because it's so difficult. It's so difficult to prove, because at the end of the day, our justice system says it's one word against another, and when it's historical, it's even more difficult. So it's about the government and the law courts having a different different thought process of how things should be done. It needs addressing. It certainly does.
All they have to do, Bobby, all they have to do is, right? Sorry to interrupt you, but all they have to do is, if I go out and do some bad shit now, all I have to do is paint myself in a rainbow-colored flag and be protected under the alias of other things. And
Yes.
this is what people don't realise, right? I'm not getting at that group, by the way, because that group is we went through persecution and prejudice for a very, very long time, but they've been used politically. And you've seen it recently whenever the certain individual came online and started giving off about homophobic people, but in the same sentence called them woofers, because he knows what he's doing. He may not be intelligent academically, but he's intelligent in the sense he knows how to work people and manipulate the crowd. And what he's doing is he's manipulating every avenue he can to gain new subscribers, new support, to siphon as much money out as possible for what I believe to ditch and maybe go abroad to some country that doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know, Saudi Arabia, or where there's lots of sex trafficking, like in Thailand.
Yeah. It's you see, his train of thought is that survival, and he looks at everybody. This is how I think he thinks is. Because look, if you go back to basics, when you look at human behavior, when you're born, especially a boy, he grows up, and the first person he looks up to is his father, and as you grow, as you get older, you watch the elder in your house, you'll watch them and you mimic them because you want to be them. Or one day you want to be a man, and that's who you pick up traits of your father more than anybody else, or your grandfather. On average, this is an average family. But if you look at this guy we're talking about, what role model has he had? So he's got to his age where he is, and I do believe his father's as guilty as he is. That's just my opinion. So. In his eyes, he sees all this as survival, going out and surviving. And when he's in, on his own, he's sitting and thinking, well, I don't know what's wrong with them all. I'm only surviving. I'm only getting money to survive. I'm only doing it. And I honestly think he thinks it's not wrong, a lot of this, because he's just he's a freak of nature. He's a 1 in a million that you won't see a guy like this very often. That has got so many terrible traits. Yeah, but he's got so many. But Ronan, he's got so many. To be an active predator and a professional scammer at the same time, with no.
Mate, I know of a person right now that's a paedophile hunter with allegations under his belt.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah. The Scottish guy.
No, not the Scottish guy, not him. I know nothing about him.
What about the one that was back in DECCA?
Yeah, we'll not say his name. I'm not going to say his name. But he's been called out by another paedophile hunter, and this guy, I've spoke to alleged victims. I'm not going to speak out of turn because it's alleged. It was NFA'd, but what I've heard is absolutely damning, and it's the same type of behaviour that we're seeing over and over again. And whatever's true is true, but I know what I've heard, and I know what I believe, and I know when I speak to a young girl and they say certain things to me, I know what's right and I know what's wrong. And these people have been put through horrendous trolling online. And let me tell you something, he isn't the only one. I know there's this certain individual we're talking about is in England, but here in the north, here in Ireland, there is many, many, many men that are doing this stuff. And believe it or not, this certain individual was backed up by a lot of people. Now, granted, they probably didn't know what he was getting up to, but as it stands, there's people out there active predators in paedophile hunting groups, and they are doing everything they can to worm their way out of this. And the way I see it, it's only going to get worse as time goes on. That's the God's honest truth.
If I could just clarify that, when I say survival, I mean that's what's in his head. It's not what I think. It's just his mentality. I just wanted to clear that up because someone questioned that in the chat. But if you go back, I mean, it's crazy, but it's a cultural thing. If you go back 150 years, the Victorians' mentality were that nobody, working class and middle class people were the only ones that did crime. These crime wasn't committed by the hierarchy, the upper class. It was only committed by the lesser class, the lower classes. So that mentality was, that was the mentality 150 years ago, which is, You know, and when you go back 100 years ago, they were still having kids at 6-year-old working, running on the machines in factories, in mills, you know. And some of that obviously has carried on in I'm getting a bit flustered how I'm saying this, but it's still present in generations. It's moved on.
It's in our DNA. It's in our DNA to be like that.
That's the word. That's the word.
I get what you're saying. And also the irony of it though, Bobby, is they moved a lot of these people away over to Australia thinking that it was going to be a mass prison, and it turned out to be a paradise. And all those criminals that they moved over there years ago, they weren't really criminals, are living in a paradise. And you've got sort of generations of people over in Australia that were deemed criminals back in the day for stealing a loaf of bread to feed their family. And the whole population's thriving, and they're living in a paradise. So the irony of that is crazy. What I will say is, Steve, are you doing a pre-recorded tonight, mate?
If you've got time, then shall we crack on and do that one that
Bobby, you can jump on if you want me to. I can send you the link if you want, like.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
but
sure.
I don't want to interrupt this here, mate. If you don't want to do this tonight, you stay on here and talk and do whatever you're doing. I mean,
I've been on an hour and a half now, so
yeah.
We need to get that pre-recorded done.
If I could just finish what I think with this, he's talking about the Australians, the criminals being sent to Australia.
Yeah.
250 years ago. It's sad to see that I think only 2 in 10 survived the journey, because it took 6 months. They went by ship, and very few, something like 20% only ever got there. They died of disease or starvation. Now, when you put that at the side of 1.6 of sexual crimes only ever get to court, how far have we progressed? We haven't, have we? When you look at it like that, it's still a crime. These crimes are still being committed. People don't care, and it's crazy.
Hello, Steve. Hello, Bobby. Hello,
Hi,
Ray.
darling.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Steve, look, can I just put a personal thing out? Because I tried to put it in the chat, but I just really want to say to you, I felt your passion, and I can understand completely why you were upset. I can. But you offering him out for a fight is going to be irrelevant. It's not going to work. You're a better man than that. That's all I can say. You're a better man than that. You don't need to do that.
I mean, maybe I might have upset 1 or 2 subscribers because my channel's not about this.
Can I be very, very honest with you? And it's probably not going to get much love, but I really disliked you last year. Really.
I mean, I can understand. I mean, because I upset, and last year wasn't me. I've sent out a heck of a lot of apologies, and I even disappeared off YouTube altogether. And it was Ronan that was pushing me to get a positive channel and be myself, be happy with the content that I want to go down that path on. And I mean, if I upset you on the back end of last year, then I can only but apologize. But as I've said to everybody else, give me time, to prove myself. And
the thing is, though, I think you already have, though. That's my point. That's what I was trying to say this evening. I really disliked everything that you did last year. I don't think, as a man or as a husband or anything else, you'd have done it had you known what was going, the real truth behind it. No matter what, anyway, I think when you get blindsided like that, when you believe someone that deeply like you did, then you behaved the way you did, but you've come back and you have made things. And when I saw your thing tonight, and I could see you were generally upset, and it did upset me because I didn't want you to feel that that's the only road you've got to go down, because it's not. It really, really isn't. As a woman's perspective, it's not the road. Everyone calling him out for a fight, it's not the way forward. It really isn't.
No, it's a personal thing, I call out. If that's what you need, that's what you need. But I'm sorry, your lady guest, I don't know her name.
Just call me Hell.
Crazy Hell.
But, she has a.
Well, no,
she has
my name is actually Helena, but only my mum called me.
Helen's got a very valid point.
Yes,
you know,
she has.
On the back end of last year, Bobby, has the likes of yourself, and
I feel that you've got a personal thing here, because obviously I don't have that with him, and I want to smack him. But that's as a female, because I can see the manipulation he does, and that's what it is.
It's master manipulation.
It is. He has his classic mind game thing where he, like he did with the whole thing, I'm in hospital, I've got an 18-inch wound, I cut myself at nothing's ever his fault.
No, it's a state of mind that
he was in hospital, could make 9 million videos, but couldn't answer a text message. Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah.
You know, I come from a street where you call bullshit, and I'm sorry I didn't mean to swear, but I'm being honest. Bullshit's bullshit, and he causes bullshit all over the place. And I would hate to see a good man like yourself, who is trying to you already are a good man, obviously, with your family and with your wife and everybody else, and you're trying to make sure that everybody else on Facebook knows that you made a mistake and you're trying to make up for it. And I would hate for you to trip over his lace, because that's what he's laid down.
Maybe I've lowered myself. Maybe I've lowered myself to his standard tonight.
No, you haven't lowered yourself. You haven't lowered yourself at all.
I can understand your passion. I get it. I would be personally angered and upset, and probably want to do the same things that you do. I mean, I wasn't involved. So I do understand your passion, but what I'm saying is you're a better man than that. Violence doesn't solve anything.
No, I agree with you. I mean, but it's how I feel.
It's going to give you a whole lot more heartache than it is anything else, if that makes sense. Because, okay, you've thrown this out here tonight, right? Tomorrow he's going to make a mock video of you. He's going to sit there and taunt you. He's going to probably laugh at you and tell lies about you. Then you're going to sit there and be upset about that, and it's stress on your life that you don't need. If you think about it logically, he's going to come back.
As for tomorrow, I've got a lot of content coming out just lately. I've got a couple of really good podcast guests coming on, and the path that I'm on at the moment is I've got a 4,000-page report, which was all about the Telford grooming gang. I managed to get hold of the full 4,000 pages of the report, and what I'm doing is breaking that down and bringing it out into our videos over the next month and a half. It'll probably take me the next 2 months, to get the full report out in the way that I'm doing it. But this is the awareness that my channel's on at the moment, and if he makes a mockery video, he makes a mockery video.
Well, can I just say, Steve, I'm gonna have to disappear. Let me just say before I go, that calling out is, you're doing it for a passion, because you care and you want this resolving, and that's what you're thinking as a man. That's what you're thinking. It's not going to happen. If you fight him, it's for personal. It's going to be personal. You'll feel better probably, but it won't resolve anything. And you've got to remember that if you watch the guy, when he loses control, he starts calling people out. And in the past, what has he done when he hasn't got his own way? He's beat people up. It's been proven. That's his way. When he doesn't get what he wants and he can't manipulate, because he's called every one of us out. And what I'm saying is, don't walk into his game, because that's what he wants.
Exactly.
He wants that. What we need now is to play tactfully, whatever the word is, tactically. And we need to, like I say, awareness. He can never stop awareness. And as long as you're 100% with the proof, no one can stop you making that.
So,
put that awareness.
Bobby, if we was all to go ahead with doing this protest, I mean, doing it all professionally and properly.
Yeah.
Who do you think the best man to say it all about? You and Karma?
Sorry, I
Would it be
didn't
you
catch
and
that.
Karma to?
Well, look, a peaceful protest, as I said, it's not actually. It's not.
You can actually turn up outside anyone's door with a placard and do a peaceful protest. As long as you're not aggressive, as long as you're not trying to.
But you don't actually need to. 9 times out of 10, you don't actually have to follow through, because, as I said, if the authorities are not listening, you can go make your peaceful protest. In other words, you're not doing anything, so I'm going to sit on your doorstep and I'm going to until something's resolved. And 9 times out of 10, you don't have to go that far, because the authorities sit up, and especially when you tell them that you're going to go to the media is going to be present. They are going to sit up and hopefully do something about it. So it's not about actually it happening; it's about preparing to do it. It's basic. The unions have done it for centuries, and this is what this is what now they call it strikes. It's the same thing, virtually, but that's the way forward. I think with this, 1-to-1 is going to be. I'll be honest, he'll beat 80% of us 1-to-1 verbally, because he's a manipulator. And if you're not listening to him, like the guy who he owes some, £500 to.
I mean, can I ask the question? Where's his bipolar gone?
Exactly. Anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to have to go.
I think he swapped that for nonce-polar, didn't he?
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Alan. I'll catch you.
Don't ever call me Helen.
Probably you take it easy.
Well, Steve called you Ellen.
It's Hell or Helena.
All right. Sorry, Eleanor.
Put my hands up.
Right. So I'll catch you guys later. Nice
Bobby, you
speaking.
take it easy, buddy.
Take care, Bobby.
Nice speaking to you guys. See you later.
Catch you in a bit.
But what he was saying is right.
Yeah, I suppose he's right. I mean, but for what he got me manipulated on the stance to, believe everything.
I can understand that.
I feel stupid, for being manipulated and into that.
Right, that's the thing, yeah. The thing is, like, we can all sit there and say, "Oh my God, we were all sucked in by this man." I was too. I met him through Shinny's thing, and then I kind of like saw his like behaviours, and it might have been my ex, so I kind of knew what it was. And then obviously I can understand from you from a more personal point, like you were involved 1-to-1, but you shouldn't hold that against yourself now. You're trying to do better now, and that's what you should concentrate on. Like
I've got a brilliant path.
You put a bad penny down, don't you? You don't pick it up.
True. I mean, since I've started this channel, I'm very happy with the progress that I've made, and I've set myself 3 years. I've set myself 3 years.
You're always on very, very late at night when I'm awake, so I end up watching some of your stuff at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and it's very interesting stuff. And I've always loved Ronan's stuff as well, but I saw your thing tonight, and I just thought, do you know what? You're a better man than that, an absolute better man than that.
I mean, I set myself 3 years to grow my channel, and I don't care if I get 10 views, 5 views. It's the message within the content that I've been producing. With this new channel, if people can take awareness, from any one of my videos, and it helps them, then I'm happy for that reason, like alone. But Helena, I'm going to have to shoot off because I've got to do a pre-recorded with Ronan that we should have done last week.
100%. But
cheers for coming on. Anyway, Helena, it's good for you to come on, and anytime I go live again, you're more than welcome.
Thank you very much. It's very kind of you, Ronan. Absolutely love your content. I love you. But Steve, please keep your head about yourself and remember how far you've come, not where you want to go back to.
I will do. Cheers, Helena.
All right, you take care.
And you too. Right, guys, I think I'll leave it there. I've got to go and do a bit of pre-recording now. So bell ringer, much respect, guys. Go and give Bell Ringer a subscribe, guys, because the content he's producing out there. I mean, it's equal to Carl McCullough's ability, and there's so much information, there's so much wealth of knowledge to be found on Bell Ringer's channel. Please go and give Bell Ringer a subscribe, guys. Also give Holden Official a subscribe, guys. Plenty of great content also on Holden Official's channel. And from me to you guys, I apologize that the video seemed to have taken a negative part at the start. I'm very passionate about this subject, and he's just been getting away with way too much, and I don't like seeing people get hurt by this individual. He's very dangerous. Please like, subscribe, and share my content, guys. I'm going to call it a night now, and I'm going to go off and do a couple of hours pre-recording now with Ronan. So take care, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And give Crazy Hell's channel a subscribe as well, guys.